So, look guys, I don't mean to brag or anything, but my last video got double-digit likes. Now, does that make me more famous than the celebrities I talked about in my last video? Well, yes it does. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, during this whole quarantine thing, I've spent an unreasonable amount of time on social media, which honestly, I think most people can relate to right now. The social media that I personally spend the most time on is Instagram. And while spending several hours on Instagram every single day, I've come across these kind of sketchy Instagram accounts. But before that, let's hear a word from today's sponsor. Today's video is actually sponsored by no one. I have like 8 subscribers. Why would someone sponsor me? Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Maybe next video. Guys, there's a lot of things that I could be complaining about right now. I could complain about how I need a haircut, or about how loud this chair is. Do you guys realize how loud this chair is? I can't move 2 inches without it screaming at me. But instead of complaining about that, I've decided that I'm gonna complain about how these Instagram accounts are, how do I put this? Stealing and lying. Let me explain. While scrolling through the Instagram Explorer page, I have come across like 1,000 of these accounts that basically just repost videos from this app called TikTok. I've never heard of it, but maybe you have. Now, all of these Instagram accounts have very weird names, such as Schmood Clips, Lazy X Posting, Daily Moods, and Sweaty Posting. Gross. There are 3 main issues that I have with these types of accounts, and I'm just gonna go through them one by one. And I realize that in the grand scheme of things, this really isn't a big deal, but I need content, so. My first kind of concern I have with these accounts is that despite only having usually a few thousand followers, they're getting like millions of views. And it's like, for what? For stealing other people's videos? Because that's all they're doing. Just, in my mind, it's the laziest type of content that someone can produce. Because they're not even producing content, they're stealing other people's content. I'm gonna dive more into why this kind of upsets me, but before that, I would like to point out that oftentimes when these accounts do steal a video, they don't even give credit to the person they stole it from. Like, are you seriously so lazy that you can't even tag someone's Instagram or like insert their TikTok name? I mean, at the very top of the video, it tells you what their TikTok username is. It's not that difficult. This leads me to my second and definitely bigger concern, because at the end of the day, having millions of views on Instagram really doesn't matter. I mean, most people in real life aren't gonna care that you have a popular Instagram account that just steals videos. However, I noticed a few things on their Instagram accounts that made me realize that they do more than just steal videos. For example, most of their posts usually have 2 videos attached to them. And when I first saw this, I was like, oh, awesome, more stolen videos. But actually, I was wrong, because these accounts would never have 2 stolen videos in the same post, right? I mean, they have more integrity than that. And that is why, instead of having 2 stolen videos, they only have 1 stolen video and an advertisement, which I guess isn't any better. And the ads that I keep running into are pretty consistent. I really only see ads about getting in shape, skincare, LED lights, and this relaxation app. Now, the first 3 are like whatever, I don't really care, but I do want to stop and talk about this relaxation app. The app that they're referring to is called Calm, and while making this video, I decided that I wanted to try out this app and see kind of how it worked. But when I discovered that they were all just promoting the Calm app, I realized, hey, I've actually already used this. Now, it has changed a lot since I last used it. Before, it was more geared towards helping people sleep, and now it's more geared towards like meditation stuff. It's a free app, however, you have to pay like $70 a year if you want to access most of the content. And it's actually a super popular app. It was even the 2017 App of the Year, according to Apple. Now, why did I explain all of this? Basically just to say that all of these accounts are sponsored by just a powerhouse of an app, which means that they're probably making bank. And obviously I'm fine with people making money on the internet, just not like this. Because these accounts are making a ton of money by, like I said, stealing videos. It's like if their account was an English paper, they would definitely get a 0 for plagiarizing it. But then again, they're not really getting punished for it. Wait a minute, they're actually getting paid for it. Scratch the analogy. And I guess it would be better if they mixed up their own content with other people's content, assuming that they acknowledged what wasn't their content. But this is purely other people's content, and they're making a ton of money off of it. Something else I noticed was that in their bios, they usually have something along the lines of DM for promotions. And well, that's exactly what I did. Kind of. I reached out to 6 of these accounts and asked them how much promotions would be. Only 2 actually responded, but then again, after a long day of sliding into DMs, 2 for 6 ain't bad. The prices weren't ridiculously high. It would cost me $20 to $25 for most promotions, which isn't terrible. I mean, like I said, they do get a ton of views. But that doesn't change the fact that they're still making money by stealing videos. Now, after seeing all of this, I just thought to myself, they're making money by stealing other people's videos. That's terrible, right? But at least they're not lying to their followers, right? Spoiler alert, they are. Now, this problem affects an even smaller group of accounts, but let me give you an example. On March 29th, this account called Viral Beauty Vibs posted this video where there's a Mickey Mouse animation on top and a real-life reenactment on the bottom. But in the description of this video, they put, "Come back for part 2. When I read this, I was like, oh, sweet. You know, this video was kind of interesting, I guess, and it's been 3 weeks, so I'm gonna go try and find part 2. But guess what? There isn't a part 2. It's been 3 weeks. How long does it take to steal someone's part 2 video? They lied to over 2 million people. Just why would you do that? I feel like there's a pretty common theme on this channel now, which is basically just me asking the question, why? And obviously, in this case, I know why. This account just wants all the people who watch this video to follow them so they can watch part 2. It's actually a pretty smart strategy, assuming of course that they actually post part 2. The final and most important thing that I want to talk about is, what do we do about this? Like, what can we do to stop this? Those are 2 very good questions, and I definitely don't have an answer. I mean, it's a convenient place to watch some kind of funny videos, and even if I stopped watching videos from these accounts, millions of people wouldn't. So really, there's nothing we can do about this. And that really just leads me to the message of this video, which is, none of us can do anything. With that said, if you want to check out my other social medias, the link's down below. And just like last time, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like. And if you didn't, then just leave a nice comment down below. I don't want to end the video in the same way I did last time, so instead,